Hello everyone, my name is Crow, and this is Project Architect 2. This is episode 33. So we're starting off down here in my industrial foregoing area. This is where I'm creating latex by sucking it out of these acacia logs. And I just wanted to kind of show a little bit here. I did add another fluid extractor because I had my everything auto crafting for making those Supreme machine frames, and it was actually using more latex than I was producing with these going here. So what I did is I made some more add-ons. I got up to tier 4, and those are relatively straightforward recipes. So I just need like tier 2, and where's the tier 3? There's tier 3, which is just using a tier 2, so a little bit of netherite and some pink slime. And then tier 4, which is some ether gas. So, pretty straightforward recipe. So I crafted those recipes up, and I added a tier 4 for the speed, processing, and efficiency for all 3 of these. And now I have a net positive of latex. I also upgraded these guys. And then over here, these are my laser drills producing ether gas. I added those as well. So at this point, this is in a solid state. And then I should have, I got over 423 buckets of ether gas. And I am net positive on ether gas, just like I'm net positive on latex as well. Okay. So last time we set up this ore processing, and I added the blasting upgrade to all of these, and it seems like it can keep up. My concern from last time was that this guy right down here, these 2 item cards couldn't keep up, transferring 64 at a time. I could make it, I could like speed it up to like, 1 tick or something like that, but I just didn't think it was necessary. So I have both these going at every 20 ticks. We're going to pull out 64, and that is enough. That works properly because I do have a node overclocker. And that means that instead of it basically running 1 card at a time, and you can fit up to 8 in these, it'll run 2 cards at a time. 1 base and then 1 overclocker here. All right. And then also as a reminder, the cards, you only need the overclocker on the extract, not on the input, which is really nice. It saves me a bunch of overclocking cards. There's no reason for overclocking cards here. So, all right, and what else? I think that was pretty much it. Oh, actually, so I have, I basically have these things processing here. I kind of mentioned last time about getting the Vex, Elder Guardian, and Phantom Charms going, and so I set that up. I've got a spawn egg for each and put it in there. And I discovered a problem. The problem is this right here. The way that I'm using the Ritual Brazier to bring them towards the Mob Masher is it's pulling the Vexes, because Vexes can go through walls, so it pulls them through the walls, and so they basically take 1 hit on the way, and then they just hang out here. So it's not a great solution, at least for the Vexes. The other part is, if you look, the Elder Guardians, they're just too beefy, right? They just don't take enough damage to be dealt with in a timely manner. So if I only had this on, I think that'll just be, yeah. So if I was only doing, is this working? I think I have an extra Vex there. So if I was only doing the Phantoms, this would be great. Because the Phantoms are small enough that they don't, they can die quick enough, and they don't go through walls. So works perfect for Phantoms, not so perfect for these vexes. See, like even now, like this guy, it just doesn't work very well. And that's with no AI. So, and so in order to solve that problem, is I made a mob crusher, and this is from Industrial Foregoing, and it basically it takes the place of the mob master. I still have the mob master running, just because it doesn't hurt anything to have it keep running. But it just goes and it basically deletes mobs. I have it set to consume essence, and so it gets looting. It's still not going to be as much looting as this guy, which is unfortunate, but at least it gets some kind of looting. And then I have this pulling into a transmutation interface. So anything with EMC is getting sucked out really quickly into here, and then everything else, like that charm we just saw, is getting pushed down into the bottom into the same kind of situation that we had before, where it would go into my main storage system. And so this is just going to, once again, just kind of be ticking along, doing its thing. And then once these hit their, once these are complete, then I can turn these off or switch them over to another mob. So this is just going to kind of remain. Up here, I added those charms. And this is all nasty back here, but I added the charms to here. And I have those task screens here. And so it's basically pulling from here. I think the top here, that's the Vex one, and that's the that's probably the Elder Guardian and Vex. And then I have behind here, you can see the Phantom one. So it's just getting, see, automatically fed into there. So this is very much a slow process, which is honestly why I started this now, because I don't expect this to just be something fast. So it's fine. Slow and steady wins the race on this particular quest. Okay. So what are we gonna do today? So when we're talking about slow and steady winning the race and everything, there is nothing more slow and steady than mechanism, specifically antimatter. I don't need a lot of antimatter. I only need like 3 or 4 pieces, but that is still, you know, a fair amount of. Oh, what am I making netherite for? Oh, I guess I need netherite for machine frames. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So yeah, so there's slow and steady wins the race is what mechanism is all about, especially when it comes to antimatter. So what we're going to do today is we're going to work on getting antimatter. We're not going to get to antimatter. There's just absolutely no way. But we can start working on it. And the best way to do that is to work on creating fissile fuel. Fissile fuel is a relatively complicated setup. It's going to require like 10 different machines, all from mechanism. And it's actually not that bad to set up if you kind of work backwards. And so that's what we're going to do. Maybe I'll set it up over here. It shouldn't be too bad. I do want to make some quantum entangle porters. I have done this process before with XNet, which was honestly a really easy way to do it. And maybe I should do that again. Huh. But using quantum entangle porters is also really easy. So, all right, we'll just do quantum entangle porters. Okay. we'll get those cooking. So the first step is to make fissile fuel we're going to need uranium hexafluoride into an isotopic centrifuge. So we need an isotopic centrifuge. We need to make uranium hexafluoride in a chemical infuser. We're going to need at least 3 of these guys. We're going to need uranium oxide. This is the easy thing right here because this is just a chemical oxidizer, and yellow cake uranium is in an enrichment chamber. These are all things that we are easy enough to make. The hydrofluoric acid is made in a chemical dissolution chamber. I think I already have one of those set up. Oh, no, that's a chemical crystallizer. We take sulfuric acid and fluoride has EMC. And that's in another chemical infuser. That's the second one we've seen. Sulfur trioxide, water vapor. Water vapor is easy enough. Deconcentrate water to get water vapor. And sulfur trioxide is just oxygen and sulfur dioxide in a chemical infuser. Sulfur dioxide, chemical oxidizer, bada bing, bada boom. So it looks like we need 2 oxidizers. I think I have most of these set up. So I need an enrichment chamber. Thank you. I need a chemical dissolution chamber. Thank you. I need... Oh, do I already have... Maybe I don't. All right, so let's see. We need chemical oxidizer. Chemical infuser. Chemical oxidizer. I think that was it, right? We needed 2 of these guys. Chemical dissolution chamber and enrichment chamber. Oh, 2 oxidizers. And what was the other thing? I got my angle porters. Chemical infuser. I think we need 3 of these guys. Easy peasy. Okay, let's go down here and let's see how we're going to set this up. Oh, and then we need an isotopic centrifuge. I only need 1 of these guys, so. There we go. Okay. And what we got for channels? I should have a fair number of channels over here. I'll just drop 1 channel down, and I should be able to do this fairly easily with an interface. Got it. And then some laser IO nodes that will allow me to set things up pretty easily. Okay. Okay, so first things first, an oxidizer. This is going to be fed the sulfur, I believe. Right? I guess this one. This will feed, so this will get the uranium. It'll make the yellow cake uranium feed into this, and this will create uranium hexafluoride. Perfect. That will eventually get sent to the centrifuge. On this side, though, I'm going to need the chemical oxidizer. This is I have to work on the hydrofluoric acid here. So that's the chemical dissolution chamber. Because that's the hydrofluoric acid. Sulfuric acid is a chemical infuser with water vapor and sulfur trioxide. Water vapors will come in on the side over here, maybe with the water vapor. Sulfur trioxide is made here. Which is oxygen and sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide is with an oxidizer from sulfur. And sulfur, oh man, I'm going to have to... Sulfur dust does not have EMC, but the sulfur itself does. That's a bummer. Okay. All right, tell you what, I'm going to... I'm going to have to move this stuff around. I'll be right back. I'm going to rearrange some of this stuff to make it a little bit nicer. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I threw together the machines. I think this will get me what I need. So I haven't done any upgrades or anything yet, and I haven't really powered these things correctly. But we're gonna see if this is gonna work how I think it's gonna work. I should be able to just basically do this with laser IO. Okay, so the ingredients I'm gonna need are gonna be sulfur. Okay, and it's gonna be fluorite. And uranium. And it needs to be uranium ingots. Okay. So, I mean, that should be it. I think. I have oxygen in the system already. Plenty of oxygen. The only thing I also need is water vapor. Where is it? It's around here somewhere. Water vapor. That is made by deconcentrating water. I mean, I guess I can just... Do I have a decondensator? That's fine. That will need... Oh, maybe that might actually work out perfectly. Okay, so the way that this is going to work is... let me get my card holder out here. Okay, so you are going to extract all the things. All right, he's going to extract whatever he needs. I'm going to filter on the input. All right, so here I'm going to insert, and that's going to be the sulfur. And that will crush it. Down here is where it's going to insert the fluorite. Perfect. And then here in the enrichment chamber, this is what's going to insert the uranium. Okay. This one of these chemical infusers needs oxygen. I'm not sure exactly which one. We'll figure it out though. Okay. But first things first is let's do all these side configs. I'm going to insert on the back. I'm going to output to the right because I'm going to take that sulfur. It's going to crush it into the dust. It's going to send it over to here. Here, we're going to accept items here, and we don't need that. Gases, we're going to send down. This is going to create the sulfur dioxide. And maybe we can kind of do this live here. Because I don't have the power going, but it should, I guess I have a little bit of power. Okay, that should be enough there. All right, so it's creating and then it's gonna take that gas and it's gonna push it down. Down. Clear. So this is the chemical infuser. I'm gonna insert one on the top. That's gonna be the sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide in a chemical infuser, is it? With oxygen, gonna make sulfur trioxide. So it's gonna input number 2 on the back, and then it's gonna output to the left. So this guy right here it's the one who needs the oxygen. Sulfur trioxide, perfect. They're going to send that to the left, and here we are, sulfur trioxide coming in that way. We put 2 on the right, and this sulfur trioxide needs water vapor to make the sulfuric acid. So it's going to output to the bottom, and then we're going to need water vapor in here. Not ideal. I mean, I guess I'll just throw... Okay, and then this can also handle fluids. It's going to extract. And then it's going to insert. Let's see. Okay, gases and fluids. It's going to accept fluids from the back. It's going to output gases to the right. And then I just have to link this together. And it's making water vapor, and it's sending that water vapor into... It's not outputting. Why? Oh. Output. There we go. So now this is making sulfuric acid, and it should be sending it down here. It's going to take items here. There we go. It's going to take gases in the top. It's going to output it to the right. Which means this has hydrofluoric acid. Perfect. This guy is... So that's one side of the chain. Right, that's one side of the chain. Now, the other side of the chain is the enrichment chamber. Needs uranium ingots. It's going to output that to the bottom. This guy is going to accept it from the bottom, and it's going to output the gas to the left. And now we have uranium oxide, hydrofluoric acid making uranium hexafluoride. It's beautiful, beautiful. And it's going to output the front, which is going to be into here. I actually spun this around so that this is... Oh, this is the input. And it's going to output into the bottom. Making fissile fuel. And I now have fissile fuel. It's not bad, right? So, altogether, and now this is a little bit simpler because I have this going, which is making hydrogen and oxygen. So I kind of get to ignore the oxygen production part of things. I mean, this isn't bad. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 machines, which is, it's absolutely a lot. But, I mean, I guess it's not that bad. Okay, so now I just need to power all this stuff. That's the bottleneck right now. I will split these guys up so they're not sucking down all the energy from one side. Okay. Now, the last thing I need is upgrades. Okay, so I need lots of these guys. Okay, one of the most important upgrades is the gas upgrade, is in here. It really, really cuts down the amount of sulfuric acid that's used, which is a huge multiplier here. Ah. Peace and quiet at last. Okay, so this is... my enrichment chamber and my crusher, I can upgrade to be larger. I'm not sure if it's necessary. Okay, well, I mean, that's actually not bad. That is not bad at all. I have fissile fuel. I already got 250 buckets. Perfect. So this is something that I'm just going to have to kind of let run. I'm trying to avoid things kind of just running passively in my world. Fissile fuel is absolutely something that I will only need for a time period. I'm not going to need it forever. So I'm okay with it running passively for now. Although I will kind of either shut this off or, you know, just remove the interface or whatever eventually. So, all right. Well, I think that's going to be it for today. If you have any comments or tips or tricks or anything, please leave them down below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Maybe we'll put some of this fissile fuel to use next time. All right, take care. Bye.